This is the Bill Squire Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Bill Squire Show. I am your host, Bill Squire. I'm here with Tommy LC.
Hello.
Pants.
Not identify as a cop. However, I am a cop.
You're a fucking cop. So we have guests. We have the Allens, Stacey and Jason.
Hi, hello.
Thank you for being here. And the whole cop thing is sometimes we have an alcoholic beverage on the show. And when we do, Pants is not a fucking cop.
Okay.
When I'm on the wagon, then I'm a cop.
Yeah. And so he is a cop today.
Yes.
Or he identifies. He doesn't identify as a cop, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It's dumb shit.
Yeah, it's a long story.
I'm kind of nervous now. I don't know. I should be nervous right now, but I'm nervous.
What, you got anything to hide from the cops? If
Well,
you're not breaking any laws, there shouldn't be anything to worry about.
Sure.
If he's identifying as a cop, then yes, I would have.
So you guys are doing a show at the Alex Theater at the 9 on October 14th. Two shows. Was it 7 and 9:30?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm excited. I finally I'm going to the 9:30 show. I've been trying to see you guys for years, and I keep having things come up. But this time I'm locked in. I'm actually going to bring another guest that's on this show. He's coming to town a night early. Billy Wayne Davis, comedian. He's going to be at Hilarities on October 15th. And he's going to come in the night early. So me and him are going to go to the show together.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Billy rules.
It's our fifth season.
Yeah,
back
it's
at
the opening
9.
of our 5th season.
So I hope it's good.
You know what? I like
some new
it.
stuff.
A humble magician is such a breath of fresh air.
I got a feeling if you did 4 seasons before, things are going pretty good. I would say.
Our guideline to a good show is: did you throw up or did you pass out on stage? Like if we don't do those things, you don't trip. It's a good show.
Yeah. It's good.
Do you make other people throw up on stage?
That's the midnight show. That depends on. If
We
you're a
haven't
cop
booked that
right
one
now
yet.
or
Is this a
not.
hypnosis type deal, or is it, am I getting a spoilery with the tricks here?
We used to do hypnosis, not so much.
Yeah, not so much anymore. Maybe some influence or suggestion, but not so much.
All right.
That's exciting.
I feel like
Okay,
You're
what
gonna just send me
influence?
info. I
Influence Tommy.
Show.
Well, I used to do a lot of hypnosis. I learned how to do hypnosis in bars. I would go into a bar.
Me too, brother. Me too. Can I get another shot of hypnosis, or if you want to call it Jameson?
That way.
It's okay. This is heading in a different direction than I expected.
Let's start at the beginning. Jason, you, from what I understand, you got Stacey into performing.
Yeah. So I've been a magician my entire life, and she was working as a therapist. She had a stable job with an income every month, and we said to ourselves, why don't we give that up and go with the magic thing? Because that seems like a long-term plan. So I've been a magician my entire life. I started when I was 13. I'm from Salem, which is down by Youngstown.
Yeah.
So I'm from Northeast Ohio, and I was doing it through college. I went to Youngstown State, and I used to play 3-card monte and Youngstown. I learned how to do. I used to do a lot of biker parties and different bars and stuff like that. And one day, someone paid me to do it for a living, and my GPA went to hell really quick.
How much do you remember? How much you got for your first gig?
I think it was like $75.
But you're just like, yeah,
It was a
it's
friend-
so good.
Yeah, I was friends with this girl, and her mom wanted to hire me, and she's like, she'll pay you $75. I did the show, and 2 months later, I'm like, you never gave me the money, and the girl's like, no, I kept it and bought beer. And so I never got really paid.
Oh, that's
yeah. But no, I started.
What's her
right away.
name? Put her on blast.
Oh.
Fucking
You're not friends anymore.
Listen, Jennifer.
Yes. So I started doing a lot of kids parties. One of the first really big shows I did was at the Cleveland Zoo here.
Yeah.
And they hired me, and they said you have to do 45 minutes. I set up, and I couldn't see the audience, and I could hear this wave of people. There were like 400 kids I wasn't expecting, and I got booed before I started the show.
My kids.
Hey, I'm
My
sorry
kids.
about that. I just was trying to teach my kids not to trust people in sport coats at the zoo.
He glosses over. He's like, yes, I did magic for Hell's Angels and the Mongols and shit at biker bars in Youngstown, but these fucking 5-year-olds at the zoo, you want to talk about a rough crowd.
I get why you're more scared of the kids.
It's terrifying. So
I'm really scared of performing for kids. They are so ruthless.
we have I'll tell you more about what you do later, but whenever Stacey's working on a new trick, I have her do it in front of a kids party, like try these kids thing, because they will boo you. They'll tell you like what you're doing.
They'll tell you exactly who you are.
Yeah.
They will.
Or who they think you are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why we don't have kids.
Yeah.
Like,
Our dog loves us no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was on stage and I got booed before I walked out there. Like the magician's coming out, and some kid's like, boo. So I did 20 minutes of this 45-minute contract. And the
So
lady
were they just like booing you consistently the whole time?
I brought a speaker system that was big enough for like 5 people. to hear it.
Yeah.
Then we
Okay, so they
went,
couldn't hear you.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
They're like, you're
So
terrible.
I take it these weren't black kids because I feel like they'd be like, oh shit.
I don't know how to respond to that.
This is definitely some 4-year-old Tylers and Brents.
Yeah.
It's
So-
now I dominate the shit out of the kids. Like I'm so good with it. They yell at me. I'm
now
like, shut up.
that's not
Well,
great phrasing either.
Oh my god. This just took a turn.
I got to go back real quick.
Sure.
How do bikers take magic? Like, do they get like just if we could generalize as a group of people, do bikers flip out over magic, or do they get pissed off about magic?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I had relatives that were in like the biker community. Is how I got into it, and you have to learn how to come at them pretty hard because they're ruthless, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And so if I were to, if they say something, and I don't know, I had a lot of experience working in bars. Somebody boos you or somebody does whatever, you go at them, and it's kind of, like getting heckled in a comedy show. It can be hard. I mean, some of our best shows are ones where you have these people that are just very dominant in the way they're coming at you, and you get their respect by
By winning him over, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you
being
can-
able to spar with him a little bit.
They can
yeah.
smell fear,
yeah.
of any kind, kids, bikers, whoever.
Yeah.
They
I
smell. They get a sense you don't know what
that
you. Yeah.
quickly when I started performing. That was the hardest part for me, just learning how to read the crowd and knowing what how to come back.
And how to clap back and
yeah.
put them in like take control of the audience.
Yeah,
and
that's
sometimes
a serious skill. I mean,
it is. And one of the things I like to do as a performer is sometimes I kind of go up and seem like I'm a little bit timid in order to kind of bait them into saying something to me, and then I could hit them with something, and they go, "Oh shit, he was ready for us," and then I got him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's ways of going up and like kicking them in the teeth right off the bat and just like overpowering them. But I kind of sometimes like to wait for them to come at me and then know that I when it happens, I got the counter move that's going
Right.
to
That
put
was-
them in an arm lock or whatever.
Yeah, it was
Figuratively.
magic. Magic is unless they're kids, then you can do an arm lock, and then that's a whole other thing. So we can't do shows at schools anymore. But
That's not very safe anyway.
biker bars are better.
right.
It's when I first started, I was huge into David Blaine. Well, David Blaine was I was a huge fan of David Blaine, and his stuff was so powerful. So I immediately thought that's what that's what you try to do, the most powerful thing. And I got into pickpocketing right away.
Actually, I was going to check my.
Yeah, I already looked. There's nothing there.
I know.
But I remember I did a thing.
Hey, my license picture where I got the bowl cut is in there, and that's valuable.
That is amazing. I remember doing a show, and this guy was giving me his biker show, and this guy was giving me a bunch of whatever. And I think I stole his wallet and stuff and let him go back to his seat. I'm like, "Here's your wallet and your watch," and like instantly won him over.
Damn.
But it's to be honest with you, a lot of the shows we do so many different types of audiences.
Yeah.
20 shows from bikers to kids parties to corporate. They're all the same. It's all the same. You have to find out who the dominant person in the room is and then win them over.
Then
Do you find there's always at least just one person that just has to be the dickhead that's trying to shoot holes in what you're doing?
1,000%.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
Well, it's weird you bring it up because our last episode we all did a tarot reading and we kind of talked about it's not the same thing as what you do, but it is the thing where we're just like there's always got to be somebody that just can't enjoy it or can't just appreciate the craft of it.
But it's really It's really awesome though when you do win that person over. If you do,
Yeah.
it's really cool. We've had a couple of occasions where we've had someone bring someone to our show who's like really not into magic or really doesn't ever want to go, but their partner or their friend was like, we have to go to this, and then afterwards they'll come up to us and be like, I really don't like magic, but I really enjoyed your show. Like when they say that, that's like, you know, that's great. That's a great thing.
But that's, I mean, coming through the door, you've invested your entire lives in doing this. You shouldn't have to. Sorry.
They're like fisheye lenses, so when you get to the side, you just look so.
Yeah, I'm trying to peek through like.
I know.
We just gotta kind of listen.
Yeah.
It's a phone call.
I've got to use the theater of the mind here, talking to Stacey here.
Sure.
I know. I like naturally want to like look at you.
I know.
Yeah.
It's I'm sorry. They didn't realize anybody would ever actually want to interview anybody in these studios.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Because like when it's me and Alan and Mary, we don't need to look at each other. We don't care. But like, well, yeah, it was you guys. So what is your show like these days? Is it a different thing every time you do a show at the Alex Theater? Like you said, this is your 5th season coming up.
Yeah.
So you guys put together. And how do you even like come up with the tricks, illusions, whatever you want to call them, the mind reading stuff? That is the one.
Yeah.
Like as much as I'm impressed by sleight of hand and stuff like that, the mind reading stuff is absolutely insane to me. And
Okay.
you guys came in second in the Cleveland scene best of voting for
Yeah.
magicians, and Rick Smith, who was number 1, I believe.
Mhm.
I've did some promotional event with him at a Taco Bell where they're talking about they're like
It goes hand in hand.
yeah, but the guy, his mentalist stuff is really, really impressive. And I love that. And then the card throwing is really cool too.
Rick is the guy that got me that Cleveland show where I got booed.
That is
no,
true.
Rick is a
Yeah.
fantastic magician.
Yeah,
he's great.
He's the reason that I do work in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But magic is interesting because you can go out and buy a trick now from there. Just buy a trick and try to learn it.
Yeah.
But what we try to do is, which with what you do with comedy too,
Yeah.
is you try to make it your own thing. So a few years ago, I was a solo act before I met Stacey. I did a lot of touring where I would just do comedy magic. And I had my own act and everything. And when Stacey and I got together, we defined these characters. We're married. She left her job as a therapist. Like we had actual characters.
Yeah.
And so that's
It's kind of built in and you played off of it.
Yeah, 100%.
absolutely.
Well, actually, when we started, you were doing magic at first.
Yeah, well, so when I first started learning, I've been doing magic with him now. This January will be 10 years since I left my job and started performing with Jason full time. So quite a while now. But when we first started, like I had no stage presence, no stage experience, no magic experience, and I was trying to learn traditional magic, and which is incredibly difficult. but at one point, Jason was like, you have all this psychology background, like you should be using that. You're comfortable with that. It'll help you on stage. And so that's kind of how I got into the mentalism part of it, because it's really like heavily focused in psychology. So it's perfect. So I started doing that, and that's kind of how we got into what our show is now.
We started though. There's Cleveland background there. We started doing the traditional, like when you think of husband and wife, you have the sawing in half. Well, Stacey actually opened Cleveland Fashion Week.
Yeah.
We were down at the arcade down here, and you walked down to one end and the other. By the time you came back, she had switched like 7 outfits.
That's
like,
crazy.
Oh,
quick
wow.
change.
Yeah. We
That's
used
cool
to do a
stuff.
quick change act, but now we don't do as much of that.
The problem is that I'm 6'3" and she's tall for a girl. So we did. The Cavs were doing a promotion thing where they were bringing in Cavs has talent or something.
Yeah.
We had to build an illusion, and we came in and did it at the Cavs game. But the problem is that our
Was it
illusions
a
are
win?
twice the size. Our illusions are twice the
Was
size.
it being able to beat the fucking Knicks in the playoffs? Was that the illusion?
This is the non-LeBron years, so they weren't.
Yeah.
That's why they were doing magic.
Yeah.
They were heavy into magic. And
We're gonna make some people show up in the stands. That's the illusion.
It was. We won free tickets down front, which were
Yeah.
But,
That was cool.
but the illusions were huge. We couldn't get them through the front door because we're so tall.
Yeah.
And like we were terrible at it. It was so bad.
Well,
Like when you say you
and
couldn't get
neither
them,
one of us is graceful, so.
like you couldn't get the equipment
So
through
we had
the
to
door?
build our illusions big because we're tall.
Right.
So typically, a lot of illusionists, not a lot, a
lot.
lot are like guys
Smaller.
like 5'7",
Yeah.
5'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chris Angel's like 4'8".
I think he is.
It might be.
I
He's a
used
little
to-
boy.
With that flat iron hair, he's 5 foot. But I'm not going to be mean. It was our stuff was bigger, and we like lumbered around, and like we didn't.
It just
do
wasn't
very
our
well.
style. I mean, there are people who do it well, and we just weren't those people. It's
Yeah.
just not our style of magic.
If you're going to do something at center court in an arena that holds 20,000 people, you kind of have to do something that has some spectacle to it, right?
Yeah, you have to do something. You can't do.
Absolutely.
You can't do
close-up
crowd
stuff,
work
yeah.
when there's thousands of people.
Right.
So, right?
100%.
When it comes to like the mentalist stuff and the card tricks and stuff like that, there's two people that I really like. One is a not well-known guy, but his name's Chris Carney, and he's a comedian and magician. And I worked with him at a comedy club in North Dakota 15 years ago, and he did one of the coolest cup and ball tricks with he had like a little fedora on, and then takes it off his head, puts it on the chair, and then lifts up, and there's a cantaloupe under it.
Yeah.
And there's no, and so I don't know when he grabs it, and it was really, really impressive.
That's cool.
And then he was, but the show after the show was even better, where we go to the bar and he start doing the close up card tricks, and he was just so good at that. And then there's the special on Hulu, the one man show by Derek Delgadio, which I really loved, and Mary on the Alan Cox show hated. Because she feels, and she went and saw you guys, and she said she had a good time, but she doesn't like magicians because she thinks you're liars.
Sure. Which is kind of the point.
Can't trust these wizards.
So, like, when you watch people like that, like a Derek Delgadio, who's doing, his is very one-man show, and it's very storytelling based. Are you able to pick up on how he's doing the things that he's doing? And you don't have to reveal anything.
Sure.
But are you kind of tipped? Are you like, okay, I get how he did that, but wow, that's impressive? Or
Yeah. I'm pretty versed in magic at this point. When we moved in together, Stacey brought clothes like a normal person. I brought 13 cases of magic books. So I sound like
fake thumbs and
I have a handful of fake thumbs. If you need one, like I have.
I don't like if you're a magician. I don't. Your apartment or your house should
Tommy,
look
do you need a
bonkers.
fake thumb?
Like
I might.
I don't want to see like just normal shit in your house if you're a magician. Like I want it to look like the Bat Cave, but with like magic and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wish.
I don't even know
our
how
house was
magic.
Like
Like I don't know the tools of the trade. Even when you're talking about you have to buy tricks. Like you mean you have to buy equipment like the actual apparatus.
Well, magic is like any other job, as weird as that sounds. Like we have actual conventions that you can go to, and other magicians teach other magicians. Like they lecture, they sell product, so you can purchase tricks that are created by other people, and then you can put your own spin on it, or you can come up with your own stuff. But all magic comes from really old magic, so like all magic is made from something that someone did hundreds of years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's and to your question about if I pick up on sometimes I love to be fooled. I love when I go to a magic show. So I hadn't been to a magic show in 15 years. I refuse to go to magic shows because I don't want to be influenced to do what other people do.
Exactly.
Right.
And we were in Vegas a few years ago, and I went and saw Matt Franco. You ever heard of Matt Franco?
No.
Won AGT.
Yeah, he won AGT.
And I went as a person by myself because you went and did something else. And I'm sitting there and I'm clapping the entire time. It was the most fun I've ever had.
I saw Penn Jillette and Friends at when I was in Vegas a few years ago with my parents. And I can't remember. It was Piff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or Puff. Is it
Piff the Dragon.
Right.
Piff the
Yeah.
Dragon.
Yeah.
And then it was another guy he's like a Vegas.
It might have been Matt King.
Is he like a
In plaid? Was he
He
wearing
wears
plaid?
plaid.
Yeah, that was it.
Ring a bell?
Yes.
Yeah.
My
Matt
mom
King.
loved that dude.
Oh yeah.
He was like just the right amount of like innuendo where like she's like, I know he's talking about sex, but he didn't say anything about sex, so I can laugh at it. And she loved him. And then Penn was great. It was supposed to be Penn and Teller, but Teller was ill.
Probably,
See, there it
Oh, that's
goes.
funny. It is. That's
Surgery.
yeah.
We did. We were on their show. We did Penn and Teller Full Us.
Yes.
Yes, we played the clip on the radio show. It
That
was cool.
horrifying.
Yeah.
That was a really.
It was during COVID.
Yeah, a really intense situation.
So if you come to when our show at the 9, we are super interactive. Like it's especially with mentalism and stuff like that. And when they called us to do this show, the lockdown had happened, and they said, "Well, you can be on it, but you can't use people. We won't have an audience."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Yeah, we'll do it." And we got off the phone, and she's like, "How are we gonna do this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I have no idea, but we agreed to do it."
Yeah.
So we went there. It was us and Penn and Teller. And
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah,
in this
them
giant.
in
That's
their
wild.
theater, their
Yeah.
empty theater, and the two of them, and then they were like, "Go ahead,
That's
do your,
crazy.
Do your magic
Yeah.
for two of the best magicians in
Intimate.
the
Oh my
world."
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, Penn's story is crazy too. Just like the way he started as like a street magician,
Yeah.
and then like
I was about to say he's regarded as like one of the goats, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I know. Admittedly, I know very little about the world of magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of,
Surprise,
There's a lot of
but-
glitter.
Teller.
That's what they rely
Why did
on.
you say there was glitter? I'd have gotten into this so much earlier.
It's well, that's what our house is full of.
Can't
But
get it out of the
Penn is
apartment.
interesting because you were talking about how Mary doesn't like the fact that we're liars,
Liars,
right?
yeah.
So I'm in college at Youngstown State, and this guy walks by with a Penn and Teller jacket on, and I got to know him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like best friends with Penn. I know Penn, but I'm also the head of the Skeptic Society of the United States." This guy was. There's a Skeptic Society, so they go after like.
This wasn't like he wasn't doing a bit with you.
No,
like,
the guy's a geologist.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a professor at YSD.
So
That's a literal council of people, like
Yeah.
the Justice
So they
League.
go
I love
after-
that. I need to know more.
Sorry,
I
go on.
need to know
certain
more.
like when there's psychic people, there's psychic things happening and stuff they'll go after. When people are being, there's fraudulent things that happen.
Right.
And so he's coming to our show one time and he's like, I'm just against people that lie and do all this stuff. And so I was so nervous. We opened our show and I still open because he's passed away since. And we open our show and I say, I want you to be very aware that we're liars. Everything I say is a lie. And if I'm opening my mouth, I'm lying to you right now.
Yep.
And so we admit the fact that what
Yeah.
we're doing
Yeah,
is
we still do that in our show. You still talk about how what we do is a lie. I mean,
Yeah. But
that's the fun.
yeah.
That's the
That's
weird
the
part
fun.
about magic. Though.
But we want you to believe that lie. So.
What's the old Seinfeld had a bit where a magician's like, here's a trick. I know how it works. You're a dickhead. I'm not. Or something. And that's the hard part about magic is you don't want to make people feel stupid.
Yeah, we never want people.
You
to
want
feel-
to you want them to feel amazed,
Yes,
not
absolutely.
like an asshole.
Yeah.
But I think it makes Mary feel like an asshole, and I think that's hilarious. So
I don't mind the only kind of magician I don't want to see is someone that doesn't enjoy magic anymore. Like you alluded to how you still like going to see magic and magicians as like a civilian. Like I don't want to go to the magic show where there's a guy that's just there that's over it. You can tell he's been doing it too long. He's got paid to put his kid through private school and he's just fucking going through the motions.
Well, and that's why I liked Amazing Jonathan so much because
yeah.
he kind of played that character, but it was a parody of that.
Oh, he was
And
unbelievable.
he was so funny.
Can
and
I
so
tell you?
good.
So funny.
Can I tell you an amazing
Oh,
Jonathan
Yes,
story?
please,
that's why I brought him up.
please.
So we these conventions Stacey was talking about is really cool, man. Like the magicians that we know are the ones that create for other magicians.
Yeah.
So there are people that create for like Copperfield and stuff like that. It's well known. It's a well known thing.
So they're like writers for other magicians.
Yeah,
basically.
so there's a guy that Copperfield has this famous trick where he takes an old playing baseball card and he pulls the signature off and tears it up and puts it back together. There's a guy that created that.
Yeah.
So we're at this convention and Amazing Jonathan, it's known that he's very sick at this point.
Yeah, really.
And like
sick.
he's not going to make it. He's not going to come
It
back.
was a
and stuff.
surprise he was there too, right? We didn't
Yeah.
know he was
Yeah.
going to be there.
And he's on stage and you see him bend over. And I'm like, oh shit, things aren't going well. And he starts breathing real heavy. He's talking, and all of a sudden the Grim Reaper comes walking on behind him, and he's walking towards him, and he notices him, and he runs over to his case, and he pulls out a little baby, like a baby doll,
yeah.
and shoves a straw in its back and drinks its
Drinks the stem cells out of the back.
and revives himself.
God damn it, that's so funny.
It's amazing.
That's
he's
so
the
funny.
only like I think aside from Chris Angel because I think he had just had crazy PR in the 2000s, but Amazing Jonathan has towed that line into comedy as well.
Oh,
like that was that's why the only reason I know the Amazing Jonathan is because and he was so funny, but he was also so fucking good at magic too.
I've never laughed that hard in my life.
All of his old, you look up on the internet, you can find like the old comedy specials from like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely
Unreal.
They're
absolutely remarkable.
they're great, and it used to be such an event too to have a comedy special. Like I remember Copperfield making Statue of Liberty disappear. Like my family sat around and waited for that. Like we were watching that together on a Saturday night, and it was like event TV. So I love magic, and I think with what you can do, I've opened for Justin Willman,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
and he was really fun, and he's real goofy, and he does Magic for Susans where he's doing
that's
like
right.
it's a great bit, and I love that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
and But you guys got some cards. You got some. What'd you give What'd you give Tommy?
This guy's got some cards over here.
Let's do some magic.
What's the best way? Can you see me from over there?
I can see you.
Are we able to move this out of the way?
Yeah, you can move that a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do something with Tom.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I start? Okay.
Go ahead. You start.
Okay.
You get them warmed up. That's fine with me.
Why didn't we do this before?
I don't know.
Because now you see just
now
fine.
I can see you.
Yeah.
That'll be better for me.
Yes,
If
yeah.
I do this, can you see these? Okay.
I cannot. Can you
Can
from
you
that
see these if I
spot?
do this?
Yes.
Yes, right. Memorize one that you see, okay?
Okay.
Do you have one?
Mhm.
No, I'm literally across the room here. You can't see him, so I'm going to try your job. I'm going to try to do your job.
Sure, you go.
Okay.
So if you think of the color of your card,
Mhm.
you shut your eyes and you shook your head, it's a red card.
Yes.
Yes. Not bad, right? It's a 50-50, but I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So we're narrowing this down, and I literally showed you the cards, and you memorized one. You didn't even pick one. I'm going to try this. I'm going to lay one on the table right there.
Okay.
And between us.
Uh-huh.
Was it a diamond?
Yes.
Okay. Was it the 7 of diamonds?
No.
What was it?
4.
I'm going to try to do this without messing up the
Yeah,
table.
don't. There's the soundboard.
Oh, stop! You liar! How's that lying?
How's that lie?
Right. That's
Right. That's not lying.
It's not lying. It's talent. It's.
I'm starting some sort of political action committee for magicians or something.
Well,
They're not liars.
I
What
knew
do
he
you-
was.
Fake Thumb Society or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
It's you know the kind of sorry not to cut you. You know it's like the kind of mad I get when I see boobs in a way like it's an amazed kind of mad. Sorry,
Stunned.
Yes,
No, I agree with you. I
stunned.
completely.
I'm making it about me. It's about you.
No,
Sorry.
I'm agreeing with you.
All right. What's you gave Tommy something before we started.
Okay, so you did a card trick. Well, so Tommy and I talked a little bit before we started the podcast, but I'll just kind of fill them in what we did. I just asked her to think of a person, someone that's really important to her, but not someone that's in this room, obviously. And Tommy, you and I have never met before,
No.
so I would
Nope.
have
Yeah.
no way of knowing people that are of importance to you. I want you to think of that person. You've been thinking of them
Yes.
off and on this whole time, right?
Yep.
And now that we moved the screen, I
follow
can
the
actually
rules.
see you.
I know.
So this is a little bit easier for me,
Aw.
'cause before I'm like, oh, it's going to be really
Like, oh,
hard.
shoot.
So I just want you to think of this person now, get a clear picture of them. I'm usually a little closer to people, so we'll see how this goes.
You want me
it's okay.
closer?
No, oh, yeah. Look, she leans in all the time. Okay.
This is gonna be our highest rated podcast. You guys get.
Yeah, look at me. Are you related to this person?
Yes, sir.
No. Ooh, she had to think about that, though. Well, yeah, no, it's okay.
Oh, she's just really stupid.
I don't think so, but all right. So, no, you're not related, but it took you a minute to think about that. So that's important. Okay. Picture this person real quick, like, one more time. It's a male. Okay, so same thing, 50-50.
Actually,
I was gonna say,
I don't know.
Okay, so mine was a little harder then.
Yeah.
Okay, mine was a little harder.
Yeah.
That's a win. Okay, well. I want you to think of their name right now, and as you think of it, I want you to think of the last letter in the name. Really focus on that letter. Is it an N?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. I think I'm just going to go for it. Can you tell Brandon I said hello?
Yes. Yes. It's my husband, and I'm like, wait. That's not like
you are.
related, but like not
Not blood.
family.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
why I
so that was
hesitated.
interesting.
I would
I
hope
get too
not.
sorry. Yeah.
I would hope not.
I also had a hard time. I kept
Well,
wanting to go to
how the
other
fuck?
people too.
Like,
Yeah. How?
Well.
How?
I mean, don't tell us, but like
won't.
Yeah.
that's incredible. That's insane to be able to figure out. Well, I can't wait.
I'm getting into
It's really
magic.
hard to do kind of far away, so I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
do as many like close hits as I would like to just because you're far
All right,
from me. But.
I'm super skeptical. Give me one. Hold on, let me get this guy out of the way.
Sorry, we're closing
is
you off again
crazy.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're closing
You
you off.
shove it
Again.
where
Moving this boy over here.
I move back.
All right, hold on, wait. This is such a fucking shit show here.
It's a great setup for magic, though.
right.
I've done.
I can just come over here.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
I've done.
Yeah,
a
you
little
want to
bit,
take my spot? I mean, I've seen it. You
Okay,
come over
yeah.
here.
I've seen it.
I've seen it all.
Get the right camera on.
So where are we at on camera there?
All right.
Okay. So, I've done magic for you before, right?
I think so.
Are you a card player?
Not really.
Good. So here's the best way. We'll kind of explain this. Take one. Okay. If you want to show the camera, I'll turn away.
I won't look either.
Got it. So the idea is to train the card, place it back on top. So this is the sleight of hand, not the mentalism stuff. The top card is the 3 of diamonds. That's not your card, though, right?
Correct.
So watch. It's very quick. But
What the?
this is
All right.
a multi-phase, so you
Okay.
have to see it, okay? If I push it in again,
Okay.
you can see the edge.
Yeah.
Watch it. Like that.
Okay. Dude.
So let's do this. Take that for me.
Okay.
And write your name on that if you would. please.
Okay.
I just want to see Bill's face.
I know. I know.
You can watch me on the screen there. Or is that working?
No, I don't have a screen
No,
over
it's
here.
black over here.
God damn it. These.
So I'll do this so we can see right here, okay? If I take and place that down inside again, you can see the second that it jumps up and lands on top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, put your hand out for me. If you would, please. I'm
Yeah.
going to place your card on the table. Put your other hand on top of this.
Okay.
Right on top, okay? Don't move. So if I take your card and I do this,
Yeah.
this is the best part. It jumps.
Yeah.
If I reach in, let me get in and get one out. Okay? Let me get one card. Don't move. Get it nice and tight. Do you see it? But here's the best part. If I do this into the camera, watch. 1, 2. It's very quick, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
I actually, when that happened and it disappeared, I ran around you. I came to the other side. I took all the cards out of your hands. I put them back inside my pocket like this.
Okay.
So you're not holding a deck of cards anymore. Do you believe me?
I guess.
God, get these wizards out of here.
That's not a deck of cards. What the But it never doesn't feel like a deck of cards.
This is now a magic podcast.
Yeah.
Can Stacey do something?
Yeah.
You want to try?
All right, Stacey, you're up.
Sure.
I kind of did a
He
little
didn't trick
bit.
me, by the way. I knew how you did all this
Of
stuff.
course.
I'm holding my keys in my wallet over here. Oh.
You knew how it was all done?
No, I don't know how.
I love magic.
I have a hard time.
I did the other version of that pretty quick, but you can.
Oh, all your cards are not even facing the right way. Hold on. He's
Bill did
messy.
that.
He's messy.
I can tell.
Okay. All right. Do me a favor, okay? Take about half the cards and set them there. We don't have a lot of room, so we'll just do that.
Okay.
Okay. So what I want you to do is clear a little space in your mind.
Okay.
Where nothing else exists, just a small space.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to show you the card that you cut to.
Okay.
When I do, I'll turn away because there is a screen. I'll make sure I can't see. I'll show you guys too, but don't say anything. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll close my eyes.
Okay.
You have it? You guys have it?
Yes.
Yes.
My eyes are closed. I'm not going to do anything fancy with the cards. That's Jason's deal.
Okay.
But I'm going to try to read your body language, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to say some things out loud, Bill, but
Okay.
do not say yes or no. Do not respond, just like poker face.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Mhm.
Okay. Red. Bill failed already. Bill.
Can we start over?
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Again, that's the easy
50-50,
part.
yeah.
Color. Okay, so it is red. Don't say anything. I'm gonna count through the cards. So remember, don't nod. No yes or no. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen, King. Better job that time. One more time, a little faster. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen, King. Good. Okay. Did you know you were holding your breath?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right in the middle of my counting, you kind of like sucked in a little, held it there because you
I'm
know.
not a card player.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's okay. It's what happens
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if you're trying to lie, your
Yeah.
body will give it away.
Yeah.
So right away, you're like, okay, be serious. Be serious right? So that happened right around 6, 7, 8. Just think of your number. Think of the number. I know it's red, so it's either a diamond or a heart. A diamond or a heart. It's a heart. The number. Look at me real quick. 7 of hearts, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you sounded like.
That's crazy. That's,
Insane.
And that's just all just reading
Yeah.
like facial expressions and stuff like that.
Like I said, you can tell right
Yeah.
away that you have your breath,
like,
right?
I was like, don't do anything. And then as soon as you say it, you go, "Whew."
Yeah, I mean, really, it's hard for most people. Even if you think you're good at lying, you usually give away something. So
Yeah.
Right.
for sure.
I don't lie to her at all.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I was about to say, you guys, you can't get away with shit. So I've just always been a terrible liar, so I just do not
I
participate
also
in it.
don't lie. Yeah. Not good at that.
Never
am
Jewish,
I?
are you?
That's the hardest part
Oy
about
vey.
doing magic, though, is you had to learn that there's tricky stuff that happens,
Sure.
but your body wants to like react when you do it.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have to learn how to lie while you speak and not show it. That's the hard part about magic is that you learn these, like some of these things that I was showing you took me 10, 15 years to learn.
Oh, for sure.
And I can't show you how happy I am that I know how to do these things. I can't come out and be like, look
Oh
at
yeah,
one.
there
You
are
know what
certain things that Jason does, like with sleight of hand and his card tricks. Like I know because I've watched him do it so much, and he teaches me these things. But he'll do a move that you'll never see, right? Which is the point. He doesn't want you to see it. You'll never know about it. But that particular move took him maybe 5 years of his life to learn, and he can never tell anyone about it. So it's like a weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
what I
I
mean?
can
Like-
I can relate to that because like any craft, the highest form of a lot of it is just the stuff that looks effortless or that you
Right.
just never see.
For sure.
I mean, that's visual effects in movies is exactly that. Where like the highest level of perfect VFX is stuff you
Is
never
not
notice.
knowing anything happened at all.
Yeah,
Right.
you're not aware that what you're seeing isn't real.
That's a sign of a good magician. Like, and I'll say because Jason's super good at close-up magic. He'll be humble about it, but he's really good. I've seen a lot of close-up magicians, and anyone can learn a magic trick. Anyone can learn a magic trick, but it takes a lot of time and talent to do it in that effortless form, like you're talking about, without anyone knowing about any of the other things that are happening, and getting them to a place where they just like think something insane happened, right? Like that takes a lot of practice and talent.
All right. I have a joke that's kind of a mentalist trick. So I'm going to do this for you guys
Okay.
Can't
and
wait.
see if it works the way I want. All right. So I love the show Shark Tank, and I would love if there was a version of Shark Tank when they were creating like all the like first inventions. Like imagine someone comes on Shark Tank and they're like, "Hey sharks, we're gonna get things rolling. That'll make sense in a minute. I give you the wheel," right? So I need you guys to kind of like finish the thing. So like here's an easier one.
Okay.
Hey sharks, you know what's the best thing? Ripped bread. And then they take out a knife and they get
Sliced. No.
sliced bread.
Sliced
There we
bread.
go.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
sliced
it.
milk.
Size no.
Sliced bread. Yeah. All right. And then finally, someone comes on. They're like, "All right, sharks, you're gonna love this. How would you like construction equipment and farm equipment that makes new construction equipment and farm equipment? Sharks, I give you."
Do you know this?
Now I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
You got it.
Farm equipment and construction equipment. It makes new.
That will make new. Pants, you got it?
No, I don't. I'm afraid to say what I thought the answer.
No,
was
say
gonna
what you
be.
think it is.
Slaves.
Dude, what the fuck? No.
You said it was the first Shark Tank ever.
I'm talking about domesticated animals, you piece of shit.
Oh.
No, that's the joke. I get someone to say slaves.
Yeah, I was like, I don't feel good about myself right now.
Are you a cop now or no? I don't know.
I think everyone in the room was thinking that. They're just waiting for someone to jump
And that's
on
the
it.
trick is I got to get someone stupid enough to say slaves out loud, and then
You're welcome.
and then I jump on them and go,
You're welcome.
domesticated animals, of course. So we're talking about oxen here, and a whole bit prepared about oxen, and here you are talking about slaves. What kind of garbage person are you?
Do better.
So that's my
better.
mentalist trick. Any tips?
We're not going to use them in the show. I can tell you that.
All right. Well, so October 14th. October 14th.
So you're coming to the second show, right?
Second show.
Second show. But
Oh,
how long is and how often are you guys there?
So we're there
At the Alex Theater at the 9.
once a month, and it
Okay.
changes every month. So
Okay.
it's not like a set like third.
Oh,
Okay.
whatever.
But where can people find you? I know that the Allens on Instagram,
The ClevelandMagicShow.com.
the ClevelandMagicShow.com, and they can see all your upcoming dates.
Yeah.
And definitely check them out at the Alex Theater. I'm going to be there for the late show on October 14th.
And some
so-
of the stuff will be new. You had asked that. So each
Yeah.
season we try to like keep some of the classics, some of the things that are
Yeah.
great that we love, that have a lot of
and you
audience
rotate in
interaction.
new stuff. You
Yeah,
kinda-
and then we
yeah.
definitely try to bring in like
We spent the last year traveling, working on
Yeah.
cruise ships, and so we've been like, going around the world and like trying out new tricks.
yeah. So we'll be
And,
definitely
like,
bringing
we
some of
have
those.
some cool new things that we're trying out
Mhm.
here in Cleveland.
Can't wait to see it.
Rad.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited about it, and I love it. I'm gonna be there like a little kid, just
Oh, we can't
laughing and
Can't
smiling
wait.
and having a great time.
Maybe I'll have you volunteer. But
I'll be
Oh,
far in the
okay,
back.
I would love
just
that.
when-
I would absolutely love that.
well, you might get called up, so
Yeah.
be ready.
All right. I'll be.
I'm sitting in the cheap
Now I gotta
seats
think about what
going,
I'm gonna
what the fuck every time we do something.
What's the
You're
fan?
gonna boo us before
I'm gonna
we
get a
walk
seat.
on.
I'm gonna get the cheap seats far in back, so when you hear me yell, "What the fuck?" It's not like interrupting the show.
It's okay. It's 21 and over. It's adult show. You can say whatever you
Yeah.
want.
You're like fucking liars.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you,
That
guys.
was so much
Thanks.
fun.
Can't wait to
This was
see your
awesome.
show,
Thanks for having
and
us.
don't forget to check them out at theclevelandmagicshow.com
Yes.
and at the Allens. Is it just the Allens?
What's
What's your
Live.
Instagram?
TheAllensLive.com.
TheAllenslive.com.
ALANS.
What's the Instagram?
Brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Instagram.
We have I'm Jason Magician, and you're Stacey Alan.
Yeah, Stacey
Okay.
_Alan.
right.
Yep.
Underscore Alan because the other one was taken.
It was. It was.
Underscore exclamation point underscore Alan. It's very simple.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having
Thanks,
us.
guys.
Enjoy it. Thanks.
How's it going, man?
Living the dream. How are you, man?
I can't complain. Things have been very good for me. I've been real busy, and the podcast is going good. I'm having a good time. How about you? Just
Yeah, the same. I was just up in Humboldt County helping cannabis growers stop a measure from destroying them, which is like it sounds serious, and it is, but it's also pretty awesome to be in the redwoods with a bunch of cannabis growers. So.
I haven't been out. I've never been to like the Pacific Northwest or even like Northern California. Well, I went to Sacramento, but that's not the same as where you were at. That's
It's not.
Humboldt County is. I've watched documentaries about it. I've seen movies about it, and it's another world. And the fact that they trusted you enough.
That's why I go up there and someone was rightful to help us out, and I was like, I think it's because I travel so much, and you do too. Like America's like homogenized, so there's like this kind of boring culture, and then there's like these pockets, very unique culture left. Like New Orleans is his own place, like that. There's like these certain places that are still their own thing, and then I think they need to be protected. And that place is, if you haven't been, and I know this is like a weird commercial for Humboldt, but it is awesome. And if you've never seen the redwoods, it's insane. I could try to describe it. Just gotta go see it. Like it's
I don't think
stupid.
pictures or description does it any justice until you actually see it, and it feels like you're in a very unique part of the earth, because it is that unique. It is like one of a kind place, and it creates a one of a kind culture. And like you said, it a lot of places are just becoming mirrors of other cities. They go, okay, like Indianapolis, like Midwest cities are just seeing what other cities do, and they go, okay, this is how we bring our downtown back. We get we get a Toby Keith's Bar and Grill or whatever it is, and then people will come downtown and hang out more when they're at football or baseball games or whatever. But
it is commerce based, and exactly right. Where we get it. I mean, Indianapolis is, let's just make fun of that city. It is ridiculous. That's why I love Cleveland, because Cleveland is very unique. And I'm not pandering, because trust me, I do not pander. That is not my thing. If I did, I'd be a millionaire by now, especially with this accent. Oh, good Lord. Could I make a gazillion?
Okay, so
but Cleveland is so, first of all, because it used to be like one of the spots in the world, the architecture is still really cool, and it's got its own vibe. And then Cleveland people have like this like distinct, wonderful, defeated attitude. It is, you talk about just being like having a good time, but also just being like, yeah, man, yeah.
Hope for the best, expect the worst. That's the Cleveland attitude. It's
yes, where it's like in Philly, what I call Philly is like they have a sloppy resilience where they might win. It is never going to be pretty.
Right.
And they're going to finish it. And then Cleveland, it's like, hey, we're going to have fun. It's not going to go our way. We are pretty much aware of that.
We know
but
that.
It's Sunday. We're having fun. That guy's on a bicycle. That's Cleveland,
Well, and then when you get to the heart of what makes Cleveland so special, it is just the willingness to come together in a way where we commiserate over misery. Like that's like a brag. And I think that's a Midwestern thing too, where you never want to show off. And if you do, you have to explain why you're showing off. So if you're like, oh, I got these new clothes or whatever, but I got them on sale. Like that's a big thing.
You got to qualify.
Yeah.
It is I'm a hillbilly from East Tennessee, so that I think that swoops down pretty low. Just I think it may be a class thing in America where anyone that's working class is like you're not allowed, and as well as I do, being entertainment, that is not the quality that you need. Is being humble, and
Dude,
being
it's
like,
the
oh
worst.
shucks, don't to me, I'm all right, and they're like, people are like, okay, I won't. And you're like, how would you? Sense.
And that goes back to the thing that you were saying about if you could pander, you would, and you'd be rich. And you see people that are maybe not the funniest people, but they don't have that holding them back because they'll post constantly. They'll post hacky shit. They'll do whatever it takes because being famous is more important than being authentic. And it drives a guy like you and me crazy where you're just like, but it's not that good. But it strikes a note with people and they just go, oh, I guess this is what comedy is, or, what fame is. And it just makes my blood.
I do have.
Yeah.
I don't get as angry. I would love to say like doesn't bother me anymore. That is true, but it doesn't like affect my day like it used to when I would see certain stuff and being like, huh, that's doing okay.
Yeah.
Now I realize I've done it long enough and steady enough, and I have a nice life doing this, that those type acts, they come around, sky, and then they just
and they go away. Yeah.
You don't see them around anymore. It's like a thing where they're like, and we all know kind of how to do some of that stuff, and you're like, yeah, but then
what happens next?
It's just like it's junk food is what it is.
Well, and you can see it with comedians and musicians, and there's different aspects of that. But it is amazing. Like what you're doing, what I feel like I'm doing is like sustaining. I've been in the game for 20 years. I think you've been around the same. And we've done a lot of cool things. We've met a lot of cool people. We do make good livings. And it's about more than just making a bunch of money, but it's about putting something on stage that we're proud of and is fulfilling. And that's the thing that I love the most about doing stand-up comedy, is going up on stage, doing something that I'm proud of and working it out. Like, I love that process. That is the reward.
And then getting sick of it.
Yeah.
And then like having yourself you get disdain at the audience for laughing at it. And you're just like, why do you think that's funny? Because it's the first time they've heard that. You've done this for 5 years, honing this in.
Yeah.
And you're tired of it, but and then you're just like, but then it is nice because we've done this long enough. I listened to a little bit of my first record that came out years ago. And like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
you're proud of it.
Yeah. I was like, hey, it took me a while to put that one out because there was like some stuff I didn't like and I had to fix and do the thing. And I remember being really frustrated about it. And then but 10 or so years later, I kind of listened to some of it and I was like, oh yeah, that's why.
Do you feel like you have any material from like your first record that is actually more relevant than when you put it out, or it resonate like you were a little bit ahead of your time?
That there's what's fun lately to kind of take that point, and then I'll answer your question around is, I know exactly what you're talking about, is that you hear stuff and you're like, man, if I was a better comedian, then if I was just more skilled, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, good Lord, could I have I could have really probably hurt some people in that room being so funny with something. But then what it does do is it sparks you to go through old ideas that you couldn't make work because you weren't a skilled enough comic. And now you're like, oh, I know how to do that joke. I know how to do this. And then you just do the boom, boom, boom. I've done that a couple of times lately, and it's been like, oh, whew, I knew that, because at the time you're like, this is funny, and the audience is like, no, it's not.
I don't think
it
is. But it
is. You're like, and then one day you're like, hey, well, you're right. The way I was doing, they were right. It was not fun.
But I knew
But now you're like,
the core of it
oh,
was
I gotta-
funny. The presentation wasn't all the way there. And then, like you said, you become a better comic. And I've done that with a lot of jokes that I had in the past and reworked them into some of my strongest material because it was just that process of I was ahead of my time. Like I had the idea, I didn't know how to present it. Now I do, and I have a new bit that I'm working on, and I can only get it to work like one out of every like 6 times I tell it. And when it works so well. But it has
But you
to
can't
be
stop. It's like playing golf.
Yeah.
That one son of a bitch. We
and
gotta play
but
again.
when it doesn't work,
I might be good at this.
Yeah. When it doesn't work, it definitely takes some of the air out of the room, but it's a very fun joke to do. It just, I need the audience to help build that bridge where like they have to pick up on what I'm saying without me saying it. And if they do, then it is a solid joke. But if they are not, if I don't present it right, if I don't build,
Just say they're dumb. They're dumb. Some audiences, I understand what you're talking about, where you're like, I should just be able to say this sentence,
Right.
and everyone laugh. But
here, I'll
you know,
test
and
it
I
on
know
you.
that is not how it works.
I'll give you the premise. I talk about if there was Shark Tank at the beginning of time when all the inventions were rolling out. So I go, hey sharks, how would you like farm equipment and construction equipment that creates its own new farm equipment and construction equipment?
Yeah.
And so you know where that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, if the audience doesn't know, then they're just sitting there, and I need them to, because if I have to say it, it wrecks it.
Of course, but like yes, I mean,
yeah. Because once I say it, they go, "Oh, that's too much." But if they figure it out, it like is this building laugh, and then it like because they're like, "Oh fuck, I get what he was talking about there." That would have been, it's such a ridiculous premise, but with a really heavy topic.
Well, you can't say it out loud. You have to, what you're doing is like, listen, you're like, here, you do this in your head, and if you're clever enough, you get how funny this is.
Right.
It's like my friend Matt Davis used to have a line, and it was truly intellectual and just instigating the audience.
Yeah.
Where he'll just say, and I don't think he'll get mad at me for this, but he'll just say, he was like, I just consider walking down a dark alley consent. And that's all he says. But it's like, it's so clever. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like,
right.
It's just, there's like a 900 implications in that sentence.
Yeah.
And
it's
how's it go? And he was like, what do you think? How's it go? I was like, some people laugh, and he's like, for wrong reasons. I was like, of course. And then some people are appalled. And I'm like, yes. I was like, you're just setting up everyone to project their own thing.
Right.
It's like he's a clever asshole, and that's why I love him.
And that's my favorite. I love the cleverness of comedy, and I think a lot of that has gone away. Well, I don't think the clever comics are ever celebrated as much as they should be, because I think, like, I see the people that are on, the streaming services and stuff like that, and there's plenty that are absolutely hilarious and they're great, but then you'll see those ones and you'll be like there's like this, you're hitting me so directly and so bluntly with the point that you're trying to make that I'm not even like, you're not even giving me a chance to have anything clever happen here. It's just it's too spelled
fast
out.
food.
Yeah.
It's junk food. It's the fucking here, eat it, get out of here. Here, eat it, get out of here. And for you and I, that's not how we like to engage in our entertainment or art.
No,
and Bill, I'll say this, and it sucks, but we're not in the majority.
I know we're not. And that's one of those things.
It's tough to accept. I have to like kind of remind myself every day. I'm like, this is
we have to come to terms with that. And I was talking about this on the radio show that I'm on about how like my biggest fans are always somebody that is okay with being alone. They don't have a ton of friends, and they just like they'll go out, they'll come and see me by themselves, and they have no problem with that. Where a lot of people would never go to a concert or a movie or dinner by themselves. They can't fathom it. And the people that like me the most are the ones that are like just okay. And they're good people. They're not weird or anything. They just go, no, if I want to go see something, I'm gonna go see it.
That's who we thought we were cultivating is who we should be cultivating.
Yeah.
But also not for the skyrocket to fame group.
Right.
Is I think, well, you and I are similar in that we know how to start a cult. It would be pretty easy. We have the ability.
Yeah.
We have the intellectual capability. We have the know-how. But we also have the forethought, and we think things through enough that we're like, then you gotta
and the ethics
talk to,
and there's something within us that goes, okay, I can't step on that crack. I can't go down that corridor where there's other people.
You gotta talk to your flock. That's who you gotta talk to.
Yeah.
Is them.
Yeah.
And that's not challenging or engaging. That's probably just like mind numbing.
Yeah.
And then you and I would be like, I want to hang out with some other cult leaders. They were like, they're fun to they talk shit with other cult leaders, like fun. You're just like, oh yeah. And you're like, oh, I'm not a cult leader. This is not.
I can't do it. Well, it's even, going to like a comedy festival, and you'll find it's like when you go to camp as a kid, or you go to a new school, and the people that are too eager to be your friend are not the ones you want to be friends with. And the kids that are popular for a reason. So they don't want anything to do with you anyway, because you might challenge their popularness. So you have to like settle in and be okay being by yourself until you find that person that you can relate with and have an enjoyable relationship with, versus just the person that's trying to take something from you or trying to stand on your neck to get somewhere.
I have learned, man, I've over the years learned how to navigate being that kind of like, because early on, you're right. It's all these fun adults getting just hammered, and we're going on adventures, and this is fantastic. And then you get old enough, and you're like, whew, that's a lot of us in a room. That's a lot of us.
Yeah.
A lot of us types in one room it's
not fun.
It's not as, once you get to a certain, then you're like, oh, that's why you used to blackout drink at these, because you knew on some level this is not a good idea.
Yeah, because I really wanted to leave.
Yeah, no, that's where like, because it's terrifying, because it is terrifying. It's awful. And then now I know how to navigate and go like, hey, what's up? See the people I want to see, and then kind of hang out. And then, because I don't have that crazy nerves of like, are you a commit? And you're just like, no, I'm gonna do my shows. I'm gonna get my paycheck. We're gonna get out of here. That's fun.
Like you
I'm
said,
not
you'll
going
talk
to
to the
strip
people.
club. I'm not doing mushrooms at 2 p.m. I'm not.
Well, that's like why I like when certain people come to town, like you. You'll be at Hilarities. We should mention that at Hilarities on October
another
15th.
reason I am not. I gotta promote better.
I will promote it.
That hillbilly Midwestern thing where we're just like, hey, y'all can come if you want. If you're not doing anything else.
Well,
it'd be cool.
I have a comedy special taping in December, and it's just like I mention it, but it's always like, yeah, I have this thing, and it's a big deal to me, but like I know it's not a big deal to you, but it'd be cool if it was a big deal to you, but I know it's not, because it's not your special, it's my special. And it's like, and then like having to explain to them like, well, it's not sold anywhere yet. We have to make it and then try and sell it, but we can't.
You don't. Follow-up questions to that is the toughest, because you're like, then you have to kind of explain a little bit how the business works on some level, and then you just see people be like, oh, I need to believe that this is
magic.
You are one day you, and then tomorrow you are Garth Brooks, and you're like, yeah, that would be
great. But,
it would be.
I mean, not even, it wouldn't be great. It'd be great if like they just heard what I say and go, oh yeah, this makes sense that he would want us to buy our tickets more than one day before the show.
Listen, this will try to. This is not going to make you feel better, but it might make you feel like a little better. I have just started touring again proper since because of quarantine, and then for like a good 6 months to a year, stand up was just in disarray after that. So you're just like, okay. So now it's like ramping up again, and I just went on a fun little run. But as someone that also produces your own stuff, because that's the way to do it, people they buy tickets at the last goddamn minute now, and it is terrifying. They do buy them.
They do.
But it is
last minute.
It is. I've worked some clubs. I've done some rock venues. And everyone I've talked to, I was like, hey, I've noticed this. And they're like, no, it's not just, it's every show we've done. Sometimes they'll sell out the day before. And we're just like, there was 50 tickets sold Wednesday. And then Thursday we sold out. And I was like, what is happening? And they're like, we don't know, but it is terrifying. I was like, okay. So.
And that's one of those things when you see a guy that is, like Matt Rife, who is selling out theaters the day he puts, like, he's got like Taylor Swift level fandom. I can't even be mad at that because that's insane.
When people are like, you seen this shit? I'm like, go, dude,
go do it, man. It's insane to be able to do that. And they can say it's because he's just hot or whatever. I'm like, no, he's struck a chord with people that they want
he is
to
hot.
see him.
You're right.
He is hot.
So,
but
he's also funny.
He's funny, and he does. He's worked his ass off. He's been doing it for longer than people think, and he's found his audience.
He's not saying he's not breaking any new ground.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very hot man that is very charming and funny.
Yep.
And I understand the appeal.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
I've seen his audience. He's got uptown problems right now that most rock stars in today's world don't have, is what I'm saying.
I also think this is one of the funniest things about women fandom versus male fandom. When women
think about, like, dude, Bill, women are going to comedy to fuck the comedian. That's not
right.
They're like hot girls going, not like, and I don't mean this offensive, but everyone knows who's coming to bone comedians. It's
right. Not the regular chuckle fuckers.
It's fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're always fun.
We love you.
They've also got issues like the comedians.
Right.
So these are like successful professional ladies being like, yeah, I'm gonna go sit with my tits out on the front row to see if
Matt Rife wants to hook up. Yeah. And
that's awesome. Good.
It's it's a different dream. It's not the dream that I wanted, but it's the dream he wanted. And
I just like that it's possible in comedy, because when you start a young man, you think it's going to be a little different than it is. And then you talk to your musician fans and they're like, man, all the women all the time. And you're like, no, it's mostly sad dudes.
The guys, yes, exactly. Mostly sad dudes by themselves. But the guys that get like a pop like that, like even like Dane Cook, when he was, when he exploded in the early 2000s from MySpace, he was well into his 30s by then. Versus Matt Rife is doing it before he's 30, and that happens for musicians, but it does not happen for comedians. Exactly. So you got to give him a salute for that, because
Pauly Shore, I think we could put him on.
Pauly Shore, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy. Those are like the ones.
Steve Martin. I think Steve Martin.
He was into his 30s, though. He was into his 30s.
But I think he was probably swimming in it.
Yeah. Yeah, he
was. In that, like that different. And it is. Whew. But you're right, though. Most people I met Matt probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He was young, but he was, you're like, this kid's savvy to be like 18 or 19.
Right. Imagine that's the one thing.
Not going anywhere, that's for sure.
That's the one thing.
And one day you're like, he sold out 1 million tickets. Yeah. And you're like, let's see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
he beat me out last year. I thought I had and I did. It was the AVN Awards to host, and I was like, oh, I should get this. I would be good at this. It was like one of those, like when they like, hey, they're interested and they need you to send a tape, and I was like, and sometimes you're just like, sure, we'll do it. I don't know how they got my name or what they think I do, but sure. And then this one, I was like, oh, this would be fun. And then a friend of mine writes for it, and I didn't hear anything for a while, which is like how you hear. That is how you hear. And then one day you see a press release and you're like, hey, that's not me. Right. But I was like, hey, it's one of the few where I was like, I was like, hey, why didn't I get that? And they were like, oh, Matt Rife. I was like, oh, that would.
You're like, okay,
yeah,
that
he's
tracks.
good.
Yeah, that's exactly who you should get for
that.
Oh,
yeah.
All
you should have gave it to. Yeah, that's not fair. That is not fair. Yeah.
We got real deep in comedy talk, but I don't have
a podcast, right?
Yeah,
Who cares?
yeah, exactly. And that's what people that listen to my podcast like. So, but I do want to reiterate, Billy Wayne Davis, absolutely hilarious. Check him out October 15th at Hilarities, 7 p.m. Get those tickets the day before, 2 days before. Let them know.
Yes, I'm gonna try to. I'm bringing my dad with me. He's fun to hang out with. I can't wait to. You're gonna love each other.
Can't wait.
And we're trying to go to the Browns game.
Okay.
Well, you guys looked good early in the season. I got real worried that I wasn't going to get tickets.
You'll be fine, dude. Don't worry about it.
And now you guys are leveling out, and I was like, they're not going to let me down.
Who do they play that week? Is that San Francisco? That might be tough just because it's probably cheaper to go to Cleveland to see a game than to see one in San Francisco. So there's going to be a lot of San Francisco fans there.
That is, yeah, because Spirit's pretty cheap. Right.
Yeah, and also, I mean, everything San Francisco 49ers are that's a cult Browns are a cult, but it's a cult that always disappoints. 49ers have been good for the past few years, so those tickets are just insane right now. So I bet there's going to be a lot of 49ers jerseys at that stadium.
See, and we're driving up from Lexington early because even if we don't go to the game, I was like, we should just go hang out in Cleveland during the game. And my dad's like, really? I was like, yes.
Go to the tailgate for sure. Yeah.
I was like, it's a time. He was like, okay. Yeah. I was like, we'll drive. We'll get to Cleveland. I was like, we'll drive from Lexington the night before. I was like, I'll be amped up anyway. He was like, really? I was like, it will be fun. I was like, I love Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's some of the most fun I've ever had in the city.
Yeah.
Is in Cleveland.
All right, man.
Times.
I gotta cut you off here though. I got the other half of the podcast.
Nope.
So
no,
can't.
This has been my favorite thing to do lately. I'm so sorry. Where I can hear the people wrapping it up, and I'll just be like, no, I don't want to. You just see him be like, stop. This is already hard enough. Stop it.
Yeah.
Man, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank
Come
you for
see
being
us.
on.
And Bill's doing a set.
Yes.
And go see his special and buy his tickets now.
And follow Billy Wayne Davis on all the social media. It's Billy Wayne Davis on everything. Absolutely hilarious. He's got a huge catalog of different things that he's done. They're all worth checking out. And go see him at Hilarities on October 15th. That the fact she ripped up the paper or whatever and gave it to you. What was that?
Oh, it was just their card. She wanted me to write somebody that is important to me on it, and she's like, you actually don't need this."
Yeah.
But
she saw you write it.
She didn't. She turned around.
Oh.
She wasn't watching.
That's weird. It's crazy.
Maybe she's got eyes in the back of her head.
Yeah.
She was good. It was hard though because I kept going back and forth between Brandon and Allie, and I'm like, I already wrote Brandon down. I have to, but I feel like that would be an easy thing to guess. If she looked up your Instagram and then found me, and then you know what I mean. I could see that kind of, and I kind of was mad that I chose him, but still.
But she still guessed it.
She did guess it.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was cool.
It's crazy though, because watching her look at me when she was trying to get it, you could tell that she's reading me. It's crazy. Yeah, that was awesome.
It's like when she's when I say, I'm trying not to hold my breath. Yeah. I know I'm not supposed to hold my breath. I still hold my breath.
It was so funny watching you try to keep a straight face.
So then I blow it right away, red. I'm like, yeah.
I got so scared when he was doing the trick to me. I go, don't fuck it up. I go, don't pick. I was afraid he's gonna pick the wrong card, and I was gonna have to play along with it. But
no, they don't.
No, the guy's a pro.
Yeah,
it's not.
Pros and they're.
I have never seen a magic show where like the magician fucks up. Have you?
I don't think
I would get so sad.
Yeah.
I'd get so sad for them. No, just because when you get to that level and you're getting. Oh, we're talking right now.
Yeah, we're talking right now.
Oh, that's fine. Oh,
I thought we're casually just bullshitting about some magic. No, when you get to that level and they're paying you to do it, it's not like music where you could fuck up a chord here and there, and it's you fuck up a trick and then.
But also there are things where they fuck up and they're so good at it that they know how to cover up. Like that's what he's talking about, like knowing how to do what he does. Like took him 10, 15 years to set that up to know how to handle that stuff, and it's very impressive.
Yeah,
I'm very excited about that.
I'm gonna pivot I'm gonna become a magician.
You're gonna become a magician?
By the time I'm 55, I'll be ready to fucking
Pants the magician.
Pants the magician.
I mean, like, Amazing Jonathan was like the only of all the magicians I think I could remember it was him because he was so fucking funny.
Yeah,
and he was also just so surreally good.
But have you watched any of like the magic shows? Like there is a show on Netflix. It's Justin Willman, and he's just like he's kind of like folksy and stuff, and then there's the Carbonara Effect. Like I love that show. Like,
I don't like I pay zero attention to magic outside of like everyone knows Chris Angel, everyone knows David Blaine, everyone knows like Siegfried and Roy. Are Siegfried and Roy even magicians, or do they just have a tiger?
I think they just had a tiger. I don't know if they're. I think they did like a little bit. Of
they
magic,
had a tiger.
Yeah, they had a tiger.
The tiger had one of them.
Had them. But I think as far as like magic shows, like TV shows are fun. They're a lot of fun.
It blows my mind every time I see it. It's just one of those things like, aside from that one Jason Ladane TikTok magician, it's kind of like, I was like, that's cool. And then it's like me being an idiot. I go, well, why delve deeper into this world? That was fun. Mm-hmm. It's like when you hit a paywall on a article you're reading, you're just like, well, I hope everything. It's like, I hope everything turns out good for them.
Today, the president of the United States arrested. Subscribe to read the rest of the article. Like, I guess I'll never know.
It's like when I was on dating apps and I would like see a girl that looked pretty cute, and then I'd like read her bio and they're like, my relationship with Jesus is my most. Like, well, that was fun while it lasted, and
that's a
good luck to you.
The go-to is
You're welcome. Here we go.
Last week, we posted a clip of Tommy and Marty being all excited about Tommy's boobs, even through the long sleeve baggy T-shirt.
That's gonna live in my head
forever. Yes, and
so special.
I don't even feel like we talked about jacking off or anything in that clip. Like, I don't think the clip's all that bad, but someone comments and says like, "Repent or you're gonna go to hell." And Vance and I had a lot of fun with him. And then I think what finally pushed him over the edge, where he started insulting me, and I was like, that's not very Christ-like. And he's like, I kind of, yeah.
I mean, I literally just assume when anyone says shit like that, like weird end times Christianity bullshit, I'm like, okay, this is a bit. Like,
yeah.
I really thought it was AJ DeCosimo putting on a bit for when he said I'm not a Jew and I don't read the Torah and stuff. I was like, I was in the gym reading it, and I was crying, laughing. I go, there's just no way.
Yeah, he's like, that's no Jew.
Because like my thing is always whenever someone comes at me hard with religion or sermonizes to me, I just go, yeah, I'm Jewish. And then he immediately replies, he goes, you are not Jewish. You do not read the Torah. You do not go to temple. I go, and then in my head I go, okay, these things might be true, but you don't know that, you know? And then I was like, and then like, of course I look at the kids because he's a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. He had to be a high school age kid.
Right. Maybe just out of high school, something like that. I think he might have been a Mormon missionary. That's what I think.
Yeah, but he just was being so over the top. I was like, I played along for a little bit, and I go, okay, this is just gonna go.
I just had nothing else going on, so I was just like, I'll fuck with him for a while.
Oh no, after the show, I was like, I checked back in, and I was like, oh, Bill's bored tonight.
He's still going.
He did call you a dingus, and not to take his side out, that had me laughing.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah. But then I made him feel bad for calling me a dingus because I'm like, that's not very. And he's like, you're soft if dingus hurts your feelings. I'm like, I didn't say it hurt my feelings.
Anyways,
that's not what Jesus would do.
Yeah.
I think if he's listening right now, if there is a God, he'd probably just want you to at least go jack one, rub one out, buddy.
Have one for the Virgin Mary.
Go get laid by a woman or man, and you know, we're all in it together.
Yeah,
we're all ending up together or not ending up in the same
Our
nothingness
arms
together.
are the
after.
length they are for a reason.
Go listen to some Creed, chill out.
Yeah.
Or Jars of Clay or Zayo or whatever.
DC Talk.
DC Talk. I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, I spent
Striper?
Striper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Striper. I was thinking Styx, but it's Striper.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a litany of Under Oath.
Yeah.
Under Oath. A lot of Christian kids got laid in the early 2000s to Under Oath. So a lot of kids in Under Oath got laid to Under Oath in the early 2000s. I have a feeling.
So you guys want to know what this is how bored I was last night. And I wasn't even bored. I just was doing the things that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do when you live by yourself and
You're an
you can
adult.
do whatever you want.
It's great.
So what I did last night was I downloaded a singing app that teaches me how to sing. 'Cause I'm tired of not being able to sing. So it's this app that teaches you breathing techniques and all these like things that I don't know about singing.
Did
Please
you
tell
pay
me-
for this app?
Oh yeah.
So it's like Duolingo for singing.
Yeah.
Let me know how it
Duosingo.
goes, because I also don't know how to sing.
So far it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then like it'll give you songs to sing, and then you like it like it's like Guitar Hero where you're trying to match the notes with your voice.
Oh, okay.
And it's like it'll adjust the pitch to your highest range, your lowest range. So like it's called
Duosingo.
Simply Sing, I think. Duosingo.
Please tell me there's a recording component on this app where you can play what you've done back to us.
If there is, I have not.
That's
looked
probably why they created the app, just to get that data and listen to people.
If there's a
terribly sing and
if there's a
learn how.
social media component to it, and you could share it to like,
I'm sure
it's
there
gonna
is.
be the
I just-
biggest fucking thing in the
I
world.
don't want to know. let me go into my account and see if there's recorded.
Do you get graded?
Yeah, it gives you like up to 3 stars, and the highest I've gotten is like 2.5 stars. But I realized the reason I was getting 2.5 stars is because I was not doing it with headphones in, so they're hearing the vocal track that's singing it correctly, and then they're like, okay, because once I got rid of that, then they're all 2 stars.
I feel like it's just like 12 a.m. Just you hear muffled. If your Bills never hear a fool around and fell in love.
Well, that's like the one thing that I'm worried about is I don't think it saves your recordings.
They're missing out, man. Let me tell you, the app to
But
make
you might be able to do it. I just haven't done it yet. But
the blow
I found out
TikTok
that I'm a
out of
bass.
the water. You have what?
I'm a bass. That's my voice.
I mean, I'm no music expert, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And then like the songs that I've sung so far are "Go the Distance" from Disney's Hercules.
Not the cake version.
No, but I'd probably kill that. There's one note.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not a lot of range in that
Yeah, a
one.
lot of talking. I can talk. Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers. Got 2.5 stars on that. 2 stars on Go the Distance because that's when I started using headphones. Aladdin's Whole New World. I was doing pretty good on that one until it got to
What's the name of this app again?
Simply Sing. And then I was doing pretty good on that one, and then I got to the girl part, and I didn't have it adjusted to sing her part right. So I was really, really off on that. And then Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. I've done that one. It's fun though, and like the lessons are short and like very digestible, and so I love it. So if you are looking to try and figure out how to sing, you just gotta be
check it
willing
out.
to like embarrass yourself in front of yourself for a while,
Yeah.
because it's like I'm hearing myself and I'm like, oh, but I'm learning about like chest voice versus head voice,
Yeah.
and I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Breathing, I'm terrible at breathing.
Just regularly.
yeah,
Like-
according to the magician you
I
are,
got
for sure.
sleep apnea while I'm awake. Like, it's,
Where was this fucking app 20 years ago? I would have gotten fucking my band on Warped Tour if this shit was around.
yeah, right.
Well,
Because I tried one of these apps a few years ago, and it was way more just like technical stuff, and this one's more like it has real songs to sing, and so that makes it really fun because you can go on there. Like here's the catalog of songs that they have. I know this sounds like an ad for them, but I don't get paid. Can You Feel the Love Tonight from the Lion King. Every Breath You
Stop.
Take
Why
by
is
the
it, why is it
Police.
making noise right now? Okay, stop. Okay.
Iris, Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, I love that song.
That's a great song.
That's a fucking hard one to sing.
Take Me Home, Country Roads by John Denver.
Crunchy Roads? Did you just say Crunchy Roads?
Yes, Country Roads.
That's why he got the app, Tommy, so he could learn how to sing it right.
So there's some good songs. More Than Words by Extreme. That's a good one. So I'm gonna fuck around with it like I did my lessons for today. I'm gonna probably do a little bit more when I get home and keep trying to get better at singing.
I can't wait to learn how to sing.
Are you gonna do it?
Oh yeah, I'm diving right in.
I'll learn how to sing and then we'll start an a cappella podcast.
Absolutely
We should become
not.
a barbershop quartet.
Yeah, we just need one more. Hey AJ, you're coming
Yeah,
back.
AJ, you're back. Hope you can hit it. We hope you're a tenor.
Well,
He can sing, right?
yeah, AJ's a good singer.
Yeah, he can sing.
All right, AJ, get your shit together.
Yeah. How was New Jersey?
It's fun. Well,
You got to go to the Bada Bing.
I did. I didn't go in, but
to go.
I felt like shit. I have had stomach issues
Wait, was
for
that-
a while, but
Not to step on you, is the Bada Bing actually open, or that place that was the Bada Bing?
I don't know.
Oh.
I saw it during the day. I didn't think to ask if it. I think it's still.
I think it's a thing,
yeah, I think
yeah.
it's a thing. It's just not called.
Is it a
Bada
strip
Bing.
club still, or was it ever a strip club? Well, yeah, it was
I
clearly a
think.
strip
Yeah.
club.
What is it? I forget what it's.
Did you get your gabagool?
Oh my gosh, yes, of course. Oh, it's a Satin Dolls. I think it's open still.
But they still have the Bada
Yeah.
Bing sign.
Yeah, they still have the sign. I tried to get a picture at the meat place, but my phone kind of. We were driving.
Mhm.
I was gonna send that to you guys too, but
That's
yeah.
Woke
Yeah.
up this morning, got your.
Chris wrote my name
gabagool.
on the Bada Bing, like right underneath the Bada Bing
That's very
thing.
cool.
Yeah, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
That was very sweet. It's a good move.
If you could get into
Right.
the Bada Bing, would you go on stage and be like, I'm naked at the Bada Bing?
Me?
Yeah.
I would not get on stage, but I'd get
'Cause,
naked
like,
in the club.
Yeah. Because
I don't dance.
I know, but you'd be like, I'm like, Tony.
Tony.
Here's my tits, Tony.
You do it like a
Tommy Soprano.
Tommy Soprano.
What was
Tommy
what was
Soprano.
the Russian stripper that fell in love with Tony? Tony.
Is there a Russian stripper in
Oksana,
love with
Oksana,
me?
right? Or is
Oksana,
Oksana
yeah,
the
yeah.
one-legged lady?
I can't remember who was who.
She was like the den mother. There was a
Yeah.
den mother, and then there was a younger one
That-
who was like super hot in
Yeah.
like the first couple seasons. That was all
His
strung
first
out over
Guma.
Tony. Yeah.
I don't.
Anyways, you could have said Tony, like she says it, Tony.
All right, before we go, can we talk about sugar daddies?
Sure.
I want to know, Tommy, you are, what do you consider a sugar daddy? Like, what's your definition? Or like, of like a arrangement like that?
Well, what do you? My definition of it?
Yeah, like when you think of that, what's the situation?
There's usually like an exchange of like the man wants something, whether it just be companionship, hooking up.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has kind of
Right.
different things,
See-
and they have to be, and then they pay you.
Yeah, and they pay
to
you.
just go on dates or whatever. Some
Right.
people don't even want to go on dates. It's literally just hanging out.
Yeah.
I had somebody when I first started camming sent me $1,000 and then would buy stuff off my Amazon wish list. I got so many comic books off of that thing from that guy. Like every day. I would get stuff in the mail every day, and
That's
all
so
he wanted
cool.
was to just like FaceTime.
Yeah. So when it goes to
In person though, I'm too lazy. I don't want
like in person and like you're having sex with, is that beyond sugar daddy? Or
That's-
is that
No, that's still I mean
I don't like. Why would you ever even, if you're getting $1,000 to literally never see a person, why would you bother with the real life?
Right.
stuff?
right?
yeah,
Well, I'm just
yeah.
thinking of people that I know that have sugar daddies and they fuck them, and I'm like, oh, that's like. I always thought sugar daddy was like you get like you do companionship, you go on dates and stuff,
mhm.
but like once it got into fucking, like that was like another level of like
I think sugar daddy can involve sex.
yeah.
I think it's generally like an older guy that's
Yeah.
willing to subsidize a younger
Someone's
woman's
life.
way of
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
But at that point, I think of it more as like a mistress, I guess, or like a guma.
I think,
type
yeah, I
of
mean,
thing,
it's,
where it's like sugar daddy just sounds like a cuter name for it.
yeah.
I mean, now if you're here's another semantic argument that I'm just presenting, and I'm saying without judgment.
Mhm.
If you're just doing it with one guy, are you a prostitute, or are you a prostitute when you do it with multiple guys? You're exchanging sex for money, like actual,
Like a one and done deal?
Well,
or just one
like
person?
like say like you have that relationship with somebody, they're paying for your time and companionship, but you're having sex with them. Is that prostitution or not?
I think that's the very definition of prostitution is selling
But-
sex for money.
But if it's not just about the sex, it's about the companionship, like you're going on dates, you're doing.
I
those
think you
other
could
things.
upgrade it to maybe escorting if you want to get semantic about it.
I
And
call
there's no
it
judge. I
dating.
don't like, listen. If I was a good-looking woman, I would absolutely have every feasible Venmo, Amazon wish list, Cash App link in every one of my social media bios. I'd say that to say that, yeah, like I think prostitution is just literally you're selling your body for money.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mhm.
You're not getting paid for sex. You're getting paid to leave.
Yeah.
Sugar daddy escort stuff is there's probably a little more of an emotional companionship component to it. I don't know. Why do I feel like I'm in court right now?
Well, that's the thing. Is like it feels
kind of
it
a weird-
feels bad. Like I feel bad saying like, okay, so this is like prostitution when you're doing that, but like I feel like there's just so much stigma with that word, and that's why
I wish they need to make it legal. Honestly,
I agree.
Yeah,
I think if they made it legal, we wouldn't
have so many issues.
Number one, it's so stupid that it's still illegal
Right,
in
yeah.
2023.
Right.
And number two, I think it's just like it's becoming more normalized and people don't look down at it anymore.
Right.
Because
And that's kind of like what I'm saying is like I feel like people use terms like sugar daddy and grandma, and they don't want to be like classified as a prostitute or
I could see
anything.
that too.
And I think
It
that's-
really,
I think that's fair. I can
like
understand that.
respect that. I get that. But I just gotta, women are no one rebrands like a woman. Like, nobody knows how to take something that's like, oh, this is, it's I mean, all the self-care stuff, that's the next level. It's like, it's just self-care, really. Just getting myself taken care of. By,
I just think in this gig economy, and I think in late stage capitalism, yeah, man, who the fuck wants to work anymore when you can literally just use your God-given assets?
And again,
for
I'm
just
not judging or saying like there's anything.
Yeah,
wrong
dude, no
with
one.
it.
I think
I'm
we're
just-
all on the same page.
No,
here.
yeah,
None of
yeah.
us
like it's
look
just a
down on
discussion
this.
that I was thinking about because of friends that I have that are in those situations, and I was just like, oh, like are they comfortable with themselves? Like, are they telling themselves like I'm not a prostitute? Or they're like, yeah, I'm kind of a prostitute, but what are you gonna do? I need the money. I want the money. I want.
I don't.
The
I think
situation.
I think every situation is
Personal.
different.
Yeah, I was
think
gonna say that's probably.
there's a lot of
personal
people that
based
know
on-
exactly what they're doing. They have zero problem with it, and they make zero apology for it. I'm sure there's some people that have a sense of. You're like, well, I would call it this because I don't want to call it that.
Yeah.
and I think it's
And it makes them
understandable.
feel better, and yeah.
You know,
Or
again,
even from
like
a
it's
legal
like
standpoint, because I've never even like thought about
Oh, yeah,
that
that's a
as
good point,
a
too.
like sugar
Yeah.
daddy. That question, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I guess I never.
Yeah,
Really
Yeah, I
thought
never
there's
really
that.
thought about it until
there's that.
Same, yeah.
someone brought it up to me, and I was like, oh, I guess I wasn't looking at it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean, there's literally websites. There's a website where you can just sign up to be a sugar baby or sugar daddy.
Yeah.
can I be a sugar baby? I'll be a sugar baby.
Technically, I mean, like
Yeah.
it's all a matter. Like it's just capitalism 101. It's like
Yeah.
if there's someone out there that
16-year-old
wants
lady
to
that
pay
wants
you
take
money,
me on dates and I'll
take you to
I'll
Golden,
gobble whole ghoul.
yeah, take you to Golden Corral and have you hold her hand while you go to see Hamilton together. Sure, then
I
you're a sugar
wanna see
baby.
Hamilton, so I'm
You'd be
down
like,
with that.
hey Nancy, I don't want to pay for the remaining of my fucking lease on my Kia. You know, like
And that just brings up another thing. I went to a play on Sunday that was about the Vietnam draft and how much that had to fucking like. It's one thing that I've always known about, but I never like put myself in that situation.
sounds
where
like
it's
a real laugh riot.
I
of
know.
an
I'm like, what a
experience.
nice fucking show. I guess.
It was heavy, but there were some good laughs in it. But it was a heavy play. Like it was.
It was a Full Metal Jacket the musical.
Basically, man. It wasn't a musical though. It just you're just sitting there like thinking about like, oh yeah, we're just sending 18-year-old dudes to the other side of the world to get killed for no reason.
To get fucking housed
Yeah,
by
And-
locals.
and it wasn't them signing up. It was going, this is your birthday, you have to go.
Yeah.
And that like I never really thought about that, and this gave me such like a good vision of that.
What's the name of the play?
It's called 1970.
Yeah.
And it's written by one of the professors over at Cleveland Institute of Art, where you went, right?
Yep. I graduated
Yeah, and,
from there.
It was good. And it gave me like some pause thinking about all that, like how terrifying that would be. That was their school shooters. Like that was their like, okay, am I gonna have to go and do this or go to jail or run away?
My dad literally was in high school when the draft was still a thing, and he said the teachers just, if you were a young man in high school, they just let you do whatever the fuck you want because you're like, yeah, you're gonna definitely just get shipped over there and probably step on a mine.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and you just leave at lunch and go smoke with your friends or whatever. And then the draft ended, and he's like, "I'll have to live the rest of my life now, I guess." You know.
Whoops, should have paid attention.
Yeah, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, he did all right for himself.
Yeah, he made it work.
All right, well, we'll keep it at that for this week's episode.
And on a high note,
and nice depressing note.
Do you want to put the MASH wasn't that war, but the MASH theme song would be a good ending.
Does that have lyrics? Can I sing that?
Literally the name. There's a version with vocals, dude, that is even more depressing than the dude. Yeah, we really stuck the landing on this one.
Yeah, right. It was like the funnest episode to the most depressing.
Yeah, let's like start with some magic, end with the Vietnam War.
Sugar babies are prostitutes, and in the 70s, you like. It was scary to be a teenager.
Like, hey, those card tricks were cool. I want to talk to you real quick about prostitution.
What a day.
All right. Get tickets for my comedy special taping December 22nd. October
Agora.
14th, go see the Allens. October 15th, go see Billy Wayne Davis. And Tommy,
Billy
what
rules.
you got?
Tommy LC on everything. Especially OnlyFans. Sub.
And sub, yeah. Sub. Look at her boobs.
Worth it.
It's good stuff. And then Pants, October 27th at...
Oh, yeah, we're booking... I
Old
booked
86.
Old 86, the first ever Halloween party, which will also be my birthday party, and DJ'd by the one and only Alan Klump, a.k.a. Choir Boy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
With some many other attractions.
Gotta figure out what my Halloween costume's going to be.
Is it like a costume party?
Absolutely. You know, I'm almost thinking about turning people away at the door that aren't dressed up, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
I don't like rules. But I do like costumes, so wear a fucking costume.
There are no rules.
And if you're on OnlyFans, follow me at OK Pants. Or if you're not, follow me. I don't care.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.